I'm going to start by introducing a new concept, technological concept to this conference and presentation. So what is the soft war? There's one goal: eliminate the world support for Israel, with the primary goal, eliminate US support for Israel, with the assumption when that happens, Israel will be in serious trouble. That is the goal. It's been going on for 30 years. It's a slow process. Now it's very fast. It could be something within 4 years even. It is right around the corner. We have actually, for the first time, enemies that are countries, okay? Not organizations. And this is dangerous. Every time the Jewish people had countries fighting against them in that way, we lost. And I can go along history. So here are the main countries: Iran, Qatar. We have the Progressive as an organization. We'll talk about that too, China and Russia, and we'll run through them pretty quickly. So Iran has a unit, probably more than 10,000 people, for the soft war. It's not just against Israel, it's against the West, it's against the Jews, and it's against Israel. And this unit is kind of working by itself. I'm not going to go through all the points, but sometimes during, like in October 8, a few thousand, in October 8, a few thousand Iranians went on an airplane to Malaysia and Indonesia to ready-made stations, workstations, where they started activating all their social media war against Israel. That was all planned and ready. Did Israel do anything? Did we bomb them? Did we burn them? Did we even know? Yes, some people in Israel knew, but not the officials. NGOs knew. Now, most of the traffic against Israel were bots, not real people. Again, did Israel activate its cyber capability? No. So the next actor is actually the most dangerous actor against Israel. Qatar is not just against Israel. Qatar regime has two goals. The first one is survival. The second one is infiltrate the world with their ideology. Part of their ideology is anti-Semitic by its definition. The Muslim Brotherhood, by its core definition, is anti-Semitic. This is their definition. This is their charter, we can call it, okay? And they want to take down Israel, and they want to take down all the Jews in the world as well. And they want to take down the West. We're talking about a small tribe of 250,000 people with trillions in their hand, and they're using it against us. So one of the issues that we can talk about is that they do it for what soft means. They put billions of dollars in universities. They build an Islamic education system around the world. They have strategic investment. They invest in legitimization. For example, they own sports teams. Their idea is, and I'm not talking about what they do to bribe people. I mean, there's been a lot of stories and a lot of discoveries about who they bribe, but there's an open bribery that is happening around us. They're investing. And they're investing even with people that we're dealing with daily. So we have to be very, very aware. They're out in the open. They increased their funding a few 100% in the last 4 years. So we all talk about universities, and I'm not going to go about it because you heard about it before, but they're investing heavily in K-12. They're just in the last year and a half established dozens of new companies and organizations in the United States to insert anti-Israel, anti-Jewish ideology into the K-12 education system. Something that was exposed recently by ISGAP, a program in Brown University full of anti-Israeli messages, that is used by 8,000 schools in the United States. This is no coincidence. They're going after the young generation. So when they come to universities, which are already lost, okay, they will already be brainwashed. Qatar also influences the media. They practically control CNN. CNN is subsidiary of Qatar. But the big issue is AJ+. Most of you don't know what AJ+ is, but it's a social media platform that is now number 3 in the world, in the United States, under 25 years old. It's full of anti-Semitic messages. 10 to 20% of the content is anti-Semitic. This is what the kids in the United States are looking at all the time. They also have a network of Al Jazeera offices around the world, and because of the structure of the world, today people are receiving their messages from newsrooms that Al Jazeera provided the contents to. We are losing in all media war, in all newsroom around the world. People don't have the money. It's the cheapest to get it is from Qatar. Qatar is setting the message worldwide. There's another actor called China. Chinese in general are actually pro-Semitic. But the Chinese have identified something very, very simple. Attacking Jews and increasing anti-Semitism in the US weakens the United States. So strategically, this Chinese became anti-Semitic to weaken the US. We are just the victims. And the main tool they're doing, it's not the only one, the main tool is TikTok. If you put a pro-Israeli message in TikTok, it's being suppressed. If you put an anti-Israeli message, the algorithm multiplies it 40, 50 times. If you are a kid today, and that is the major social media platform for kids, this is what you see, anti-Semitic content. And anti-American content to the same level. Very similar thing happening with Russia. Russia also have a social media platform called Telegram. It's really owned by the FSB. And Russia is doing exactly the same. We're detecting new Russian anti-Semitic site every week. It's easy to detect that it's Russian. There's all kinds of telltale signs. They are going after us, not because of us, because they think it will weaken America. They're doing other things in America. A lot of the people that were guarding, let's say, the demonstration in LA, in the university, there were guards around. The guards were communist organization funded by Russia. There is another element of war, and that is a war in the West, and that's the war of the progressive. I don't think we understand the strength of it, because they've taken over a lot of the power centers of the United States, and I believe right now President Trump and others have awoken to it, but I'm not sure the war is that it's going to be easily won. Today, only 2% of faculty are conservatives. 98% are very, very radical leftists. 98%. If you're looking at district attorneys, if you're looking at security establishment, a large portion of the generals right now are woke. It will take years to reverse that. People say it's small percentage. They talk about Rashida Tlaib and Ilhan Omar. No, the progressive caucus in Congress is more than 100 people today. We are looking at the next, if it's going to Democratic administration, a complete anti-Israeli, on the front administration. Sorry. So, interesting with progressive ideology, it has nothing to do, in theory, with the Palestinians. The progressive ideology is that if you're successful, you're oppressor. If you're a successful black person, you become white. You're not an oppressor. There's no way that you have succeeded without oppressing somebody. Since Palestinians are a failure, Israelis are a success, therefore, we are the oppressors. Therefore, we're part of the bad people. The Palestinians are basically riding that ideology. They've been doing it now for 15 years. They are not, the Palestinians are on an inherent place for these progressive. They're not. They actually, they're anti-gay, they're anti-everything that they believe in. But they've been riding it. And we can actually separate between them because they don't really care about the Palestinians, surprisingly. They care about control and control of America. They'll think that the cost of supporting the Palestinian will hurt the goal, they'll throw the Palestinian under the bus, and that should be part of our goal. So, who's funding it? There's a gentleman named Soros, the greatest anti-Semite of all, funding every organization there is, and we need to take care of him in some way and form. But there's also others. There's a whole network of organizations funding activities against Israel, and Israel cannot just stand on the line anymore. And the Jews cannot stand on the line. So what to do? First of all, is to recognize the problem. I don't think anybody recognizes it deep enough, especially not the state of Israel right now. This has to be a state goal. It's got to be a war. You've got to have resources that a state has. We're fighting states, countries. We need to put an army for that, okay? I want to see 2,000 cyber people in Israel dedicated just for that, okay? We don't have that. We have to start recognizing we're in a war for our existence, because if we lose the world support, nobody will give us arms, we'll have embargo, we will lose. And we have to organize the NGO activity. There's hundreds of millions of dollars, which Malcolm mentioned, fighting anti-Semitism, just not coordinated at all, each one doing their own. Everybody loves to do whatever they like to do. We have the resources to fight it effectively. We just have to also get organized inside the Jewish community. Thank you very much. I've got to stop here.